What's up, YouTube, and welcome to another episode of Boondockbuilds. My name's Jamie, and if you're new to the channel, welcome. Now, what we're going to be doing today is 5 shop upgrades that you need to do right now. So let's go ahead and dive on into it. So a problem I often have is I have 1,000 pencils in the shop, and I can never seem to find one. So we're going to fix that. So the first thing you're going to want to do is take your 2x4 and cut off 4 inches. You're going to need to do that twice. Once we have them cut down, we're going to glue them together. Next, we're going to sand it up to 220. So this next part here is optional, but I have a metal shop, and everything is much easier that has a magnet on it. Here we're going to pull 1 inch on each end and then 1.25 inches from the side, and that will be your center mark. Bob a hole, bob a hole, and then we're going to take our 1.5 inch Forstner bit and go down just enough for the magnets. And we're going to hold these magnets down with some CA glue, spray some activator on the magnet itself, hold it in place for about 15 seconds until it's dry. And then we're going to take our 2 inch Forstner bit and go down roughly 3/4 of the entire length of the material. Unfortunately, I had some tear out here at the top, so we're going to take this over to our router table, put a round over in it, try to clean it up a little bit. Then again, I hit the inside of the cup with the sanding drum set and threw a little stain on it. Then I'm going to spray it with some shellac to help protect the finish, and project number 1 is going to be done. Now, if you find a project in this video that you don't like, you can always skip to the next one. And tell me what you do or don't like in the comments. So this next project is really going to help out every woodworker I know personally, and I know it's going to help you guys out as well. It's all about utilizing the space that you already have in your shop. And that's why I want to introduce you guys to the sponsor of this video, Fleximounts. Not only do they have fast shipping, but Fleximounts is a U.S. company specializing in helping consumers create a neat and comfortable living environment. Take this go-kart for example. It's always in the way, I'm constantly having to move it, and it would just be a lot easier if it was out of my way. So I've been doing quite a bit of cleaning in the shop, and we're going to put that go-kart right here. Now the Fleximounts GL1 is primarily meant for flat ceilings that are 9 foot high. Since I have a metal shop with a slanted ceiling, I did have to improvise a little bit with just a few modifications, made it fit just fine. Some of the best qualities about the GL1 is its lifting design. It's super easy, ladder free, so no more climbing. And for all you topless car lovers, the GL1 can also be used for vehicle roof lift. It has a safe locking design with a maximum load capacity of 300 pounds, and that is for this 4x4 foot lift. Not only that, but they have a great selection of garage lifts and garage storage racks. So be sure to click that link in the description and get your discount at Fleximounts.com. Sometimes when I'm in the shop, I need a hammer, and this one can tear up the wood, and this one doesn't always do the job. So let's make one out of wood. So the first thing I did was find a handle that I like to use and trace that out with my pencil, leaving enough room for the head of the hammer. We're going to mark that at 3 degrees and then take it and cut everything out on the bandsaw. Next, I took it to the drum sander to get everything as smooth as possible. Next, you're going to want to take it to the router table and put a nice round over edge on just the handle all the way around. Next, I grabbed a piece of walnut and traced the head of the hammer twice to cut that out as well. Then we're going to put enough glue up there to make you think Titebond owes you money. Now when you clamp this together, you're going to want to make sure the bottom, the part closest to the handle, is as flush as possible with all 3 pieces. Then we're going to trim both sides at 3 degrees and an even top, throw a little shellac on it, and this project is going to be done. So a few weeks ago, I bought this new miter box saw. A couple of issues I'm having with it. Number one, dust collection is non-existent. Hopefully we'll be fixing that later in this video. But number two, trash just seems to fall right in there and get stuck. So let's go ahead and give it an upgrade. As you can see, a lot of trash has gotten down there in a short amount of time. We're going to do one final rough cut at 17 inches on this insert. And make sure you have this taped down very well before you start taking the screws out. You don't want them to come apart and then you get your measurements off. I'm tracing this out on a piece of walnut, and then I'm going to take it over to my bandsaw and cut it out. Next, you're going to want to sand the edges of this until it fits snugly into your miter box. After I had it fit nice and snug on the sides, I went to the table saw to cut in the depth, which was about 1/4 inch. Then we're going to sand that down smooth until it fits nice and flush. So next we're going to take our 1/2 inch Forstner bit and countersink where the screw holes are. Then we're going to take another drill bit and go all the way through. And before we mount this back in place, we're going to hit it with a little bit of shellac, bring that nice color back to it. So this next project is probably going to be one of the most important ones we talk about, and that is going to be about the air that you breathe in your shop. So if you're anything like me, you're going to constantly have shop vacs and dust collectors running. You're also going to be a baller on a budget. So that's why when it comes to air filtration, I'd rather just go ahead and build my own rather than buy something when it's going to be just as good, if not better. So let's go ahead and dive on into it. So the air filter I did go with did cost a little bit more money, but it's also going to pick up a lot more of those ultrafine particles that I just don't want to be breathing in. Now we're going to grab our 1x4 and we're going to cut 4 pieces at 5.5 inches. We're going to cut 4 pieces at 1.5 inches. And then we're going to take our 5.5 inch pieces, mark a line straight down the middle at 2 3/4. Now we're going to go 1 inch down, 1 inch over on each side, and mark a line. Next, we're going to take our 1/4 inch Forstner bit and go down just enough for the magnets before we pop them in place, again using that CA glue just like we did on project number 1. After I glued it together, I held it down with some 1¼ inch brad nails. And now we're going to take our filter and the back of our fan, sandwich those together, take the pieces we just made, and put one on the top and one on the bottom of each side. That's going to hold the filter in place and give us a nice air filtration on a budget. Now I do feel a little bad about making you guys watch the full 20 seconds of this fan sucking up dust, but normally this dust would linger for 20 minutes, so it's going to make the air I breathe much, much cleaner. And there we have it, guys. 5 easy upgrades that you can do right now to improve the efficiency in your shop. Again, be sure to click the link in the description below for your discount of Fleximounts. Click right here to check out our last video. We'll see you guys next time on Boondock Builds.